therapy dog. Um, Giselle Goddard. And W from the 1930s first started and advocated for training schools for school psychologists. My school psychologist at WSU, currently teaching my 511 Intro to School Psychology class. John Dewey, he's got a tool in his hand. He looks tickled pink. Piaget. Me, because all these people are, I've got test anxiety, and they're all, this is Jack, C.S. Lewis. This is the teacher. Here's the students on the playground. Here's all the things that we're protecting this special group of citizens that are vulnerable. And so we're protecting, the school psychologists are taught and trained how to advocate for the safety through policy of this special group of citizens, children. And so they're all telling me I'm going to do fine on the midterm exam. This represents the training that it was absent up to the 1920s. So school psychologists who were first called child rescuers, I believe, or child savers, because they were like heroes. They weren't called school psychologists at the time. There came a need for school psychology at the beginning of the 19th century. Would that be right, or was it be the 20th century? Was it in the 1800s or 1900s? I'll have to look it up in my notes. But no, it was 1910. So around 1910, school became compulsory, and as soon as that did, it drove the need for school psychology. And school psychologists were then referred to as school psychologists in like 1889. But in the beginning, they were called child rescuers or savers because they were heroes and they were looking out for our little ones. And so next, I'm going to see all these bad, threatening things they're saving them from. They want them to succeed at learning, and they want to help the teacher, T for teacher, to help the students, and to help the students help themselves to be successful in behavior and academics and socially and so forth. And they don't work alone. The school psychologist works on a team with lots of other people. And the teacher's part of that team, and so is the principal. But anyway, this represents the first training school for school psychologists. It just represents that, which were generally located in the northeast of the United States. I put John Dewey on here because he lived to see a lot of this. I believe he died in 1957, and so he didn't live to see the thoroughbred years, but he lived to see, you know, everything before compulsory, during compulsory, and all the way through 1957. 1969 was the end of one era of the development of the history of school psychology. 1970 to the present was the beginning of what they call the thoroughbred years. It's still going on today. And so what I've done is I've set up these strips here, and I am creating a history timeline because this is one of the parts of the test that's making me feel like I am totally going to fail. So I've got these strips here, and I'm just going to go around, and I don't want you to see me. I look horrible today. And I am going to make a timeline of the history of school psychology from the beginning to present, so that I can do one of the things to prevent test anxiety, which is prepare. And this is my weakest area. I'm having struggles with it. So, Cal Johnson speaking to you from humble Wichita, Kansas.